All right. I appreciate everyone being here for another week of
politically correcting.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate everyone being here for this because you can be anywhere on the world. Be here with us. I want to take a moment to smash that like button, please.
Yes.
And follow the We the People Podcast Network on Facebook. Guest. Here is, I don't want to say guest because you're the second in command. Both of you.
No, I'm fine with
Lavelle.
Lavelle can be the second.
I thought
both
we
you
were co-hosts.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
all together.
I'm comedic relief. Let's be real here. You got first chair, second chair.
I don't want to say it like that. I just think you
you
guys
can
are
say it
just
like
there.
that.
You guys are
No,
good.
it's not
You guys
racist.
are automatic.
We're complementary
racist. Good
pieces
Lord.
to the overall world of Jose Pio.
What's that?
It's not the world of Jose Pio.
Oh, I think it is.
Well, you know he's truthful because he's wearing a mask.
I am. Yes.
True. He is wearing a mask. Shout out to all the lefties out there.
This is my waving the white flag. I'm complying.
You doing? You are good for you. You know what? I'm not
gonna
hating
see
on
how
it.
long this is gonna last, though.
You might
I
as
am
well
not hating on it.
just bend over, man. Just
Bend over.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, I
Let
don't
him. You know what? Do what you want, dude.
do what I want to do. Right?
Be who you want to be.
Thank you.
If you want to wear it, wear it.
He's living
Anybody
his.
worried
No,
about it?
honestly, this is a social experiment to see
Is it?
how long, and how many times I pull my mask when I'm about to say something, and I'll try and pull it back to get.
Yeah,
get
someone out
clear.
there, make sure they count how many times
How
he
many times
pulls
you
on his
pull this
mask,
mask.
because once you pull on the mask is over.
It's over.
It's done and over with.
Yeah, I love the press conferences of our elected officials when they really want to drive home the fear of COVID. The mask is on. You
I
see
wasn't even
everybody
gonna jump into
behind
that.
them.
Good Lord.
Everybody in the backdrop got a mask on.
ahead.
Fucking the janitor got a mask on. Everybody, do not get in this government
No,
shot
everybody.
without being.
I'm sorry.
masked
Everybody.
up.
The janitor has the mask on. Everybody else doesn't have the mask on.
What I'm saying, but
Did you see that?
when the politicians want to drive it home, you see our homeboy. Is he a homeboy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to say homeboy.
AB.
He's a good kid. Good kid.
Good guy.
kid.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
He's
Good guy.
awful.
At least take a stand, Annabella.
No.
Hypocrisy. Nobody
Do
enjoys.
you not know who you're talking to?
Nobody enjoys. I know. He's basically AB Jr.
You know he's not going to accept it. He's not even going to accept it.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
All right,
Change your name to
we're not
Ben.
even going to jump into that quite yet. We're not going to jump into that quite yet because we all, I feel
Hold
as though we all understand.
Let me
This is
squeeze
a,
this top. Wait, you got to squeeze the top because it'll stay on better this way. Hold on.
That's the same as pinch the tip. Right?
Yeah, let me pinch it. I'm pinching.
I was going to get into it, but could not even. Well, here's to all the friends out there. Thank you all for coming here. I appreciate everybody that shows up and is here to have a conversation amongst friends.
Mm-hmm.
Salud.
Salud. Wait, let me take the mask off. Hold up.
For those of you who
He pulls it up.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
protect it. I gotta keep the nose protected because that's where COVID enters.
It's the droplet.
The droplet.
Oh my God. I'm gonna do my thing here.
Hold up.
Ready?
Do it again.
All right. It is neither exceptional nor amazing for a single person to take care of themselves and or their kids. It is not a high standard to pay your own bills or take care of your own responsibilities. It is literally the ground level of expectations for a grown adult. So stop with the I'm an independent woman or man, and I don't need nobody. Yes, you do. Yes,
preach.
You do. God created us to be social creatures and to bring the most good out of you, to benefit those around you. When he said, love thy neighbor, he meant that to be an actionable thing, not simply internal. So when you say you're happy being alone, just know that God did not create Adam, stopped and said, it is good. No, he literally said it was not good for man to be alone. So he created a helping mate for him, not a servant, not a slave, but someone to help bring forth the very best out of Adam. Because when we don't have that driving force to be the very best version of ourselves. And as men, women tend to bring that driving force out of us. As oftentimes when solitude, disappointment, and regret sets in and takes over, and then we start to make poor decisions like turn to alcoholism, drug addiction, to black out our emotions. And when we do express emotions, they reflect the anger from within.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see him under that mask, though.
I just want to let y'all know.
What are you doing?
During that
What
whole
is-
entire
what are you
time you're
doing?
talking, I'm literally saying to myself,
Good Lord.
it is hard as fuck to continue breathing this shit.
Why are you wearing it?
Because this is an experiment.
I was doing a for real thing here.
Yes, and I'm like
For real
breathing
thing
deep
here.
as but what you said though is 100% true.
Uh-huh.
And
I know it is.
it
Because I
kind
said
of,
it.
of course, because it's the word of Jose.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I'm like,
No.
I appreciate when you come up with your monologues because
Mhm.
it does make a lot of people think. And I think overall for today, a lot of our families is getting infiltrated by a lot of outside influences, like of course, social media and those things, and it's affecting the minds of a lot of our women to where they're rejecting that.
Well, a lot of women feel like they can be themselves and do it all by themselves.
Oh.
They don't need no man.
Oh yeah, bitch, pick up that damn.
Wait, don't say that. Good Lord.
Credibility is
No.
gone.
Right.
Hold up.
Hold on.
Pick up those tree branches that's all in the backyard that fell, and you figure that out. Pick up after everything. Do all the other shit that you know you don't.
Well, that's
know.
the very basics of manhood, though, is that you pick up after yourself,
you do
right?
it. Yeah.
So when a woman picks you, though, I think that's the difference right there. When a woman picks you out of everybody else in the world, they pick you. That's a big deal.
Yo, if I pass,
I feel
out,
like
yo.
you're overreacting about picking up garbage or whatever the hell you're
No. I'm
crying
just
about.
saying. I'm just saying, yo. If I pass out, y'all. All right.
It's a mask. Just
Yo, this is only
Take the
10 minutes
mask
into the
off.
show.
What are you doing?
8 minutes of the show. Fuck,
Good
yo, I don't wear these
Lord.
shits, yo. I don't even know how they do it. Like, you can imagine a motherfucker in a restaurant sitting up there. All right, sir. Yeah, we got the house special today. Hold up.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I just wanted to see how it worked, man.
How does it feel?
It feels like fucking
Trash?
somebody's- Yeah.
Trash.
Yo, my top lip is really like wet.
Yeah. You gotta pull it down and get that chin diaper going.
Yo, each time I breathe, like there's not enough air there. Who the fuck thought of this shit? Whose idea was this? You know what? Let's put a mask on them.
Should we talk about it?
Yes, please. Let's do it, man. Because I'm confused. This shit.
Whose bright idea was it to wear a mask that does not prevent the spread of coronavirus? They literally said that the spores within coronavirus can easily escape out of that mask right there.
Oh gosh.
So why were we forced to wear that mask? That's the part I don't understand.
I don't know.
I get the N95 mask. I get that part. I get it because that's the only one that was ever claimed to say they can, provide any kind of safety net against it. But they all went behind to say, just wear something on your face.
Yeah, you can make it at home.
Just wear something on your face.
Yeah. What about could you imagine being a student with this shit on all fucking
No.
day?
I was ADD
No.
enough in school. I would
Right.
have oh my
Right.
God.
Yo, this is crazy. This is all you're thinking about. You're not even paying attention to
No.
I can't
teacher.
imagine. I cannot imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. This ain't gonna last the whole show. Just to let y'all know.
I mean,
I don't know how you woke up with that on you because you literally came here to the show with it on you.
Yeah, I know. I had it in my pocket just for this
And
reason.
my wife made coquito for you,
I drank it.
and you're sitting there with the mask on.
I would be willing to bet that before the end of the show, you try to take a drink through your mask.
Well, no, I'm going underneath.
Are you
so-
gonna see the liberal mask where it opens up and there's like a mouth?
Oh
underneath?
God! Like
But
the
did y'all
pussy
see
lips?
that though?
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh my God.
this is how we're supposed to eat at,
No, it's
restaurants.
not. No, it's not.
Do it like
No,
this.
it's not.
Put it over your face, and then just eat like this, and then you drink like this.
Well, so if you went back in time to
then
last
you're good.
week,
Uh-huh.
they were telling us that these masks, we're not doing those mandates. We got
Well, it was certain counties that were saying we're not doing it, and
Well,
now Monroe County is one of the 3 counties that are saying we're going to go ahead and mandate it. Every other county is saying, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
Good. Don't. I guess I never have to spend money in Monroe County again.
Head rush.
Well, that's where your taxes go to, right?
So
if
I don't
your
live in Monroe County.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Right.
Suck it.
Right. So that's where your taxes go to, my taxes go to.
Yeah.
And if our taxes go there and they're sitting there saying we're going to go ahead and police people who don't wear the mask appropriately, like that's a problem to me.
Wow.
I feel as though I would hope you have a problem with that, but you're also wearing a mask inside of.
Well, this right now is in violation.
Yeah, it's true.
So
That's an sir
like that, yeah.
citation.
That's a citation.
Yeah.
I need you to comply.
But I mean, I have a mask on. I don't
True,
understand.
you do have a mask on.
Yo, you know it'd be funny? I'll be laughing at these motherfuckers. That the people who have like the face shield, the plastic shield, the motherfucking like Daft,
Asians,
the Daft Punk
Asians.
motherfuckers, they look straight up like Daft Punk.
I'm
out
not mad at
there.
them. Like, look, honestly, if I were in the middle of a pandemic, I would wear the face shield with the covering all. But at this point, honestly,
Yeah,
like
'cause-
the amount of danger you are in by breathing,
yeah, cool.
it's I don't want to talk for anybody else, but
Since
for
when?
me, it's so low. It's so low that the amount of pressure there is for me to wear a mask and get vaccinated and don't show up in group settings. It's like it's so low for me. It's so low.
You better get back inside that basement and stay there, boy.
Yo, you know how they
It's-
say like when somebody breath stink, their breath be hot. Like
What?
I'm smelling
You can
this
smell
mask.
it.
My
You
breath
smell it
is
inside
straight,
your mask.
but this shit is hot. This shit is hot as hell. It's
Oh,
like a
geez
sauna up in
Louise.
this bitch.
All right, well let's go to our friend over here, Brett. Brett is about to pop up on the screen. There he is, right there.
Hey, Brett.
What's going on,
going
guys?
Brett, I appreciate you coming on
Yeah.
today. I appreciate you. You literally flew into the country
Yeah,
to come onto this program. That's why we are worldwide.
it wasn't to see my
Worldwide.
family; it was to come on the show.
It was literally
Yeah,
just
That
for
makes
this.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
100% true.
So talk to us about the difference between where you came from and where you are now.
As far as mandates,
And as far as mandates and business, like how does New York State mandate how you operate your business?
I feel like I'm more afraid to be in New York than I am in Guatemala.
Is it a afraid thing?
Yeah, well, here's the thing with Guatemala, where I'm living in Antigua, it's the economy is heavily based on tourism. So if they shut
Okay.
tourism down, that economy is going to collapse, and they can't afford to force people to be vaccinated. So there has to be some flexibility. Otherwise, this is my opinion at least. Otherwise, they're not going to have enough money in to keep these businesses going, getting people fed. I mean, there is a lot of poverty there, but I'm more afraid coming back to New York to being forced to comply to get vaccinated here than I am, at least in New York, than I am in Guatemala. I mean, we still have to wear masks, and you have to get your temperature taken to go into a restaurant. So it's a little bit more strict as far as traveling. But if you go outside of heavily populated areas like Antigua, no one's wearing masks. And
All right. So what do you do then? Like if you were you and you were out and about, wanted to just have a good time with your wife, have a good
Yeah.
time with your significant other, you just want to go out and have a good night. You want to dance, you want to listen to music. What is it that you do over there then?
I mean, you can still go to restaurants. You can still dance. You can. They have. They do shut down restaurants early there. I think.
What
they
is
closed,
early?
I think like 9. I think they moved it back up to 11 p.m. So they
Okay.
do have a. I mean, they shut it down for a while. Some schools are still closed there.
Damn.
So yeah, they.
When you say there, talk to the people where you are.
Yeah, so I am running a home in Antigua in Guatemala, which is like Central America. It's about 5 hours south, I think, of Mexico, 5 or 6 hours, I believe. If I'm wrong.
So you get the
I-
caravan before they come to America. I got you.
Yeah, but you know what? So I came home, and I think the difference for me is that things are a little bit more strict over there. But just being home these past few days, like today, I'm like, man, I'm missing like beautiful 75-degree
You had to
weather
bring that
over
up,
there.
huh? You had to bring that up.
and it's tough totally
No-
worth it.
Another country heard from over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm hurting feelings. I'll text you some photos.
Yeah, no.
later. And not of
Listen,
me,
just
but of
text me the
Guatemala.
address and where I need to come and
Oh, I'm already going
kick
down
my
there.
feet up.
I'm definitely 100%
Yeah,
already
so
going down there.
I
wanna-
rented
I
this
wanna
big
buy
house.
one.
Literally anyone can come down. My girlfriend might hate me.
So talk
At
about
one
this big
point,
house. How
I'm
much
with
does it cost?
Here's
Down
the thing,
there,
right?
Down where you are.
So prices have gone down for rentals.
Mhm.
So you guys might think this is not expensive, but for me it is because I'm super cheap. We're going to talk about money later, right? I'll tell you what my payroll is, and probably you guys won't believe me. Probably won't believe what I drove here either.
I saw that in the parking lot. I was like, but I had a feeling it was yours. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It
Is he
makes
still
sense.
wearing that mask?
You still.
Yep. How
Killing
far
me.
are we into this?
Why are you still wearing that thing? You're you're
if I
freaking
pass
me out.
if I pass
Yeah,
out,
if you freak.
then
You got to think the ventriloquism business has really taken a
Yeah.
downward
Yeah.
Yeah,
spiral.
you're taking us to the next level. Is what you're doing. You're messing me up.
Anyways,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm renting you call it a 5-bedroom, three full baths. I think 3 full baths. We have a terrace, I guess that's what you'd call it, in the middle of the property. So it's fully open, like beautiful garden. We have a backyard. We're in a private gated community.
For how much? For how much a month?
So this is cheap. So this is because of COVID though. It's got fireplace, beautiful. $1,700 a month.
1,700 a month.
God damn, that's
And
not
you
bad
have-
though.
It's
People that are sitting there waiting for you.
What do you mean? I do have a cook and we have a cleaner.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. A cook
Yeah.
and a cleaner waiting for you to come
Oh,
back.
It's real
Well,
estate,
my-
y'all.
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend's got to eat. She
That's
needs someone to
fantastic.
cook for.
Get in the game, y'all. Get in the game.
Well, let's talk about the game. All right, let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
Because you got in how? Talk to us about how you got
Ooh,
in
All right.
and how you build it.
See, I think for me personally, this was a gift from God. You might think I'm crazy, but I started
Mhm.
mowing lawns
Fantastic.
in middle school.
Love it.
Mm.
And I knew that I would never work for anyone. I don't know where that came from. I felt it in high school, maybe because I'm really lazy. So I figured that I would never want to work for
If
someone.
you want to
so-
look at it that way, I guess.
well, I am sort of lazy, but how could I make the most amount of money with doing
the least
the
amount of work.
least amount of work? But
Yeah.
obviously it takes a lot of work to get to the point where you don't have
Right.
to spend a lot of time working, which I still do work a decent amount, but I've always just had the drive to figure out how to make money. But it took literally about 15 years of being in real estate. The last 4 years I started to figure things out when I hired a coach, but I only started making money probably like just a year and a half ago. And it's a lot of money, but it took about 15 years in like 11 of those are me like killing myself.
It's the grind.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
what do you mean by killing yourself?
Yeah. I didn't grow up with a father, so like I had very little self-worth in no one to build me up as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a people pleaser, so I would do anything. But my mom taught me how to work hard. We grew up in a single family home. She had 2 kids, and she worked. She always just did what she had to need to do, and I learned that from her. So I always worked. So that was instilled in me, and I would do anything. I'd cut your grass, clean your toilet. I didn't care. I'd do anything to make money. I graduated from Fisher with a human resource degree, and I met someone who was in real estate, and he was looking for someone to help scale his business. And I worked with him for about 7 years and got taken advantage of for all of those 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this
That
happen.
sucks.
So I'm a coach
Yeah.
too, and I have some students, but I see it happening, and I see people promising other people to do X, Y, and Z for them. And it never happens. And then they stab them in the back and say, hey, this isn't working out. And that happened to me.
After they paid
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, after spending, being someone's slave,
Yeah.
and then they're like, well, you're not worth it to me anymore. I'll
Right.
bring the next person in who I can
Excuse me.
take advantage of
Yes.
their youth and time. So I did that for 7 years. It was a student housing business.
A student housing
It
business.
was, yeah, it was right here in Rochester. We rented to students. So it was basically like a hotel. We'd rent rooms. It was fully furnished. We provided internet, cable, furnishings, and we rented them out by the room. So I learned I learned parts of the business in real estate. I never learned how to buy the homes. And that was the most difficult part for me because I sucked in math.
That's the
Hated
key.
math. I hated
Well, okay.
numbers.
So talk about that. You
Yeah.
never learned how to buy the homes, but
Yeah.
you were in control of the homes.
So I learned how to manage them. So I'm also very creative. So I learned how to market the homes. I wrote our employee handbook. I created the brand and the feel and the vibe of the company. Worked on the logo, things like that. I worked with placing the students, very customer service, did the leasing, managed the construction. So I learned almost everything besides how to actually buy the homes, which was the most intimidating part for me.
Oh, they were using you, boy.
Yeah,
they were
man.
using you.
Well, they weren't using him. He was using them as well.
No, they were. But
Well-
again, just like kind of like what he was saying, though.
So here's
You
the
know.
thing: when he let me go, how many people do you think he hired to take my place?
5.
3.
I over-exaggerated.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
3 people.
It does sound like you do a lot, or
Yeah,
did
right,
a lot.
yeah.
rather.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
You're welcome.
yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
High five.
I got you.
But the cool thing about that experience is now I get to share with people on how to go into relationships. So I got burned, so I can help people.
So is
hey,
relationships the number one thing?
oh yeah, without a doubt.
All right. So how do you teach that to some people? Because I feel as though there's so many people out there that don't understand how the connections that they make means something to them in the future. How do you make people understand that?
It's hard because we're humans and we're inherently selfish.
Right.
And you have to remove that selfishness. That's number one to building relationships.
Mhm.
In order to cultivate a relationship, you need to serve that person first. And that's how
Serve others first.
serve others first,
It
yeah.
comes out of when you get stuck in the middle, you're like, I want to help as many people as I can. I feel as though you come in the middle of this. I'm looking at the Vella over here. What is it that you do that brings people in though? Like what is it that attracts people to what you do?
Like, well, I'll give you an example. So if someone wanted to get started in real estate, if they had the drive, like whenever you're gonna go into an industry, like you gotta be sold on it. You gotta be committed to it, right? So if you're
Right.
committed and you have a drive to just try anything without questioning what someone's gonna tell you, and you're willing to give up that time and just learn and grow, and also serve that person. Like if someone came up to me, hey Brett, I want you to teach me how to buy houses. Like I'm gonna test them. Like, well, all right, go get 1,000 property addresses and call them and get back to me in a month.
Okay, so let's talk about that right there.
Yeah.
How is it that you got involved with it? Like, how did you actually start in this business?
Networking, relationships.
Okay,
Yeah,
so anyone can network, right?
Yeah, anyone
can
can
get.
network. Yeah. So there's local real estate groups. The one that I was involved with was Freedom First Real Estate Association.
Right.
They're still around. We have a smaller group. It's a large Facebook group now that I was hosting with my friend Matt Druin, but he
Mhm.
had a baby, and then I'm traveling now, so it's hard to keep that. We have a friend Marty. He's
You guys
got
get a
another
little
one.
busy. I
Yeah,
got you.
we got busy,
Mhm.
but there are other groups. But what I see is people come in there and they're takers,
Mm-hmm.
and they just ask and ask and ask, and they never give. And those are the people who are never going to see a return and get what they want.
Well, there's always going to be people that just want to be involved just so they can take in, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not many people that actually give back.
Yeah.
So if someone were to be able to get involved and want to give back, how do they do that?
So I'll give you an example. I had this 19-year-old call me the other day. He's like, Brett, I've been calling people. I have no idea what to do with these addresses. He's like, I got this lady who wants to sell me your house. I'm like, great. We spent 2 hours on the phone. I was like, if you go do this, I'll help you buy this house. Right. So I only talked to him because he listened. I gave him homework. He did the homework, told him exactly what to do. 19-year-old kid. This lead was in my CRM for almost 200 days, and he got her on the phone.
All right, let's talk about that because a lot of people don't understand what CRM is, right?
So yeah, CRM.
What does it mean, and what does that mean to be in your CRM for that much time?
A CRM in simplicity is just a lead management tool. So it manages all our data. It could be customers, it could be prospects who are interested in buying their homes. And this woman was in my CRM. We had been trying to reach her for almost 200 days. He called me. He's like, Brett, this lady wants to sell her home to me. And I'm like, I didn't know him. I'm like, give me the address. The first problem I have when people want to work on leads together, they won't give me the address. So I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no trust there.
Right.
So he's like, here's the address, Brett. I just want to learn, man. I'll tell you everything. I'll give
Show
you
me
everything.
something. Just walk me through
Yep.
this.
He's like, whatever you need to know, I'll tell you. And that's the first sign that he's ready to learn. Like he wants to learn. He's hungry because he's willing to share everything and just put it all on the line.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, all right, I sense
You gotta
this.
love that.
Yeah, it was amazing because most people who come to me for help won't give me the information I need to help them.
They want to be shown, and then they fall off the center of it.
Well, they'll have properties, but then they won't give me any address. They'll be
Right.
like, help me buy this house, Brett. And I'll be like, well, how can I help you if you don't give me the information to help you buy this
Right.
house? But I gave this kid my scripts. I walked him through my contract, and I'm like, do this when you go to the house. And if you need my help, I'll wait for you to call me. He went to the house. I helped him prep for the appointment, basically gave him the outline. He walked through the house and he's like, text me. He's like, Brett, can you walk through the contract with me? I'm like, sure, call me. He got the seller on the phone. I walked the seller to the contract. He's never done a deal in his life. He's never bought a home. He's 19.
Awesome.
He wants to be in real estate. He walked out of the house with a contract.
That's awesome.
So we're potentially going to split anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000.
All right. So talked about your position, where you are, where you fall into place with what we're doing here, because you are a wholesaler. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is a wholesaler? What does that mean?
Yeah. So some people don't like wholesalers, and I think because we're better marketers than they are.
Real estate agents?
Yeah, so I'm a home buyer. So we buy homes. We just I fully disclose the seller a number of ways we can buy the house. So if you go, like, I'm one of those guys, like, we'll pay cash for your homes, right? So we're not a real estate agent. We're just home buyers. I'm a small company based out of Rochester. We reach out to prospects or people we think might want to sell their home and just say, hey, are you considering selling X, Y, and Z property? We market to 8,000 to 10,000 people a month, and we're buying between 3 and 5 houses a month every month.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hard.
I love wholesaling. It is
But
tough.
I never answered that question. So what is wholesaling?
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't want to jump
like,
in there yet.
Yeah, so wholesaling is essentially just marketing a contract. So I'm basically a data and marketing company. So we'll market to sellers. We'll buy your home. We put those properties.
Buy your home, meaning they are in contract. They have.
Yep. Yeah. I have a contract saying I'm going to buy Joe's house, right? So I can keep that property for myself as a rental. I can flip that property. I can renovate it and sell it on the market, or I can partner with someone. And what partnering looks like to me is, I don't want to hold this property. I don't want to keep it. I don't like it. So I'll market that property to other people who are looking for similar homes, and we'll broker that deal and make the difference between what we have it under contract and what we sell it for.
That's the game. A lot of
talk to us about the game, because I feel like there is a game there where people they feel as though they're getting involved with the selling of the house, but at the same time they're not selling to the end user. They're selling to somebody that's in the middle. So talk to us about the middle part there, because I know Lavelle's in that middle part as well as you are. What does that mean?
Yeah, so in my contract, I tell the sellers I fully disclose everything that I'm doing. I learned a lot of people don't like wholesalers because wholesalers can be shady. They can take advantage of old people. They can take advantage of desperate sellers.
That's not what Lavelle's doing. I just want to make sure everyone understands.
But
that's not what Lavelle's doing.
If Lavelle's looking for a property, he might be like, hey, Brett, I'm looking for properties in this area because we market all over Monroe County. I'll be like, hey, we've got a home in this area.
Yeah.
We don't want it. Here's the information on it.
You don't want to purchase it yourself.
Yep.
You're just the middleman that will make a percentage of
that sale. Yeah. So if we get a home under contract at 100, and we'll market it for 120, and we'll make 20 grand.
What's your interest? That's all.
So what does it take to be that kind of person that makes that kind of money?
So it's hard. It's hard. New York State.
What about it is actually hard though? Because it seems like it's easy.
You're right. It does. My marketing is going to be about 80 grand this year.
I shouldn't say. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say easy. I should say simple.
Yeah.
Like it's simple.
In theory, it is simple.
Right.
But it's not easy. That's the best way to describe real estate in general. Simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean,
in New York, in New York's an attorney state too. So time and attorneys kill deals.
Right.
So you have to learn how to become a counselor. You have to have patience. You have to learn how to be a mediator between attorneys. You have to, whenever we work with sellers, there might be situations where they're nervous. I mean, you go 60 days without closing on a deal.
Right.
And they're calling you every week. You got to it's called walking them off the ledge. You got to bring them back to reality. So
because they're looking at you like it's your fault.
Yeah. So we set clear expectations. I think for me this past year, I learned how to sell correctly is where you're just honest. You tell them this is what it's going to look like. This is how long it's going to take. You share every step of the way. We might not even keep your property. We might partner up with this other guy here. And we'll even walk those people through the property at some point if we need to move it to another buyer. But the sellers fully know exactly what's going on, and we give them exactly what they want. And some people are mad, like sometimes real estate agents get mad, but like they don't understand that a lot of sellers either hate real estate agents or don't want to list their homes on the MLS.
Right.
It's a lot of people. They don't want to do it. And they'd rather, it's like trading your car into a dealership, right? People bring their car back to the dealership and they take less. Why do they take less money for their car? I'm asking you guys. Come on.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking all you guys. Why does someone
the comfort of not having to deal with it later on?
Yeah, peace of mind.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with it later on by looking up.
Yeah.
Okay, is it worth this much?
Yeah.
How much could I actually get?
Yeah, it's fast, it's easy. You got
Yeah.
peace of mind, and you know exactly the vehicle you're getting into next. That's exactly what we're doing. We're giving people peace of mind. They know exactly where they're going, and we'll even help them to get where they want to go, make it easier. Well, that could be money before closing. That could be finding them a place to live, finding them a rental, whatever it is. We help them go where they want to go.
When you talk about the just a bad reputation that a lot of wholesalers get, do you think though it is with a lot of agents, real estate agents in different states with kind of, government connections that because there are certain states that are banning wholesale left and right.
Yeah, I think people also don't like to see other people succeed. I've got a couple homes that I'm selling this year, and I make over 6 figures just on 2. And we had an attorney try to kill.
How? Talk to people about how.
Being honest.
Right. But how though? Honestly, how do you make 6 figures off of a single unit?
Well, so I did off a flip. I've got 2 wholesales. One was 58,000, one 64. We closed the 58,000 last week. I had a seller reach out to me on my website and say, Brad, I got this massive house. I need to get rid of it. I need help. The bank's going to take it. And I just asked her, what's your goal? What's your vision? Where do you want to go with this? How can I help you? And she told me. And I was like, so if I can do X, Y, Z, I just repeated back to her. If I can help you with X, Y, and Z, do you want to sell me your home at this price that she gave me?
Right.
And she said, yeah. So I go meet him. I walk through the house. I have to figure out what I think it's worth based on the repairs that are needed. I still think the price that, even though I made 60,000, if I were to keep that home, I would have probably put about $100,000 into it to resell it. So that's a lot of work for me. But every different type of investor has a different model. So just because I can't pay more doesn't mean someone else can pay more. So I find someone who has a different business model that works for them. So we tell sellers, this is how we operate. This is how we do business. And as long as they're okay with that, we can move forward. And we actually paid her. I gave her $10,000 out of my own pocket because there was another lien on that property. I hooked her up with a good attorney. There was a $90,000 lien on this home that was going to kill this sale. I hooked her up with a good attorney that negotiated that down, and I gave her $10,000 more out of my pocket just to help her out because she got less at closing. That's
amazing because that's the things that they don't remember. Like, they don't really think about the last minute stuff. Let's say stuff. It's shit.
Yep.
That they have to deal with when it comes to the end game. Like,
Yep.
they have to sign off at the end, but attorneys have to sign off at the end, which means that political people have to sign off at the end because
Yep.
they have to understand that the taxes are not going to be sold. So they're going to
Yep.
say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and sign off at this rate right here.
Yeah, and some of the best deals that we have, other investors aren't willing to spend the time to take them to
Right.
closing. Because right now, so I'm every contract every home that I get under contract, I'm closing about 46%. So it's not even half of the home. So like I hustle, like I work. I'm always on the phone with sellers. How can I help you? What's going wrong? What's going right?
And you don't even live here.
No.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So
Because that blows my mind where I saw you move. Like, I witnessed him move to another country. And I'm sitting there saying, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the man can move to another country and still run his own business?
This was crazy.
Talk to us about
this
that.
was crazy, you guys. So I've had coaches for about almost 5 years now. I have 2 coaches now. I'm in a mastermind called Ascend. And we got one guy who's doing over $1.5 million this year. He's got one deal that's 7 figures that he's doing this year. So we've got, I spend probably $35,000 a year investing in myself.
Okay.
And just to share with you guys, I started that journey on a credit card. It took me almost 4 years to actually be able to afford paying for it.
So what does that mean to people? Like to the normal everyday Joe, what does that mean to somebody to say, I spent my money on my own credit card to advertise? What does that mean to somebody?
Yeah. So for me personally, like where I was in life, like I knew what I wanted and I knew I had what it took to get what I wanted. I just didn't know how. So I love this quote. The only investment that you're guaranteed to return is the one in yourself.
That's right.
So I knew if I stopped investing in programs and investing in information, because if information was the key to success, we'd all be millionaires, right? I knew it wasn't information. I knew I had what it took. I hired a coach, and I went into, it was like a 3-day event, and I like puked over everyone. Like I was vulnerable, and I shared everything, and was honest, and I gave to people. I fed people like my story, and that's giving too, sharing your story, because you can impact other people. And at the end of that, the guy was like, hey, there's an opening in the CEO's mastermind. And he's like, you want to be in it? And I'm like, yeah. And I put $9,000 on a credit card, and it was almost $900 a month. It was $870 a month. And I was putting that on a credit card for almost 3 years.
Love it.
Yeah.
Best money you ever spent, huh?
Best money I ever spent.
On yourself.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So this is about almost year 5. And I've never made this much money in my life. I've never seen this much money in my bank account in my life.
Speaking of money, these guys want to talk about money all the time.
Who?
I got a
Who you talking
question.
about?
I got a question for
Yeah.
you, Brett.
Us?
Do you think what you do is a net positive? You sell houses, urban,
Ooh,
rural,
is
doesn't
it?
matter. Net positive for the communities that you're in.
Yeah.
Being a wholesaler.
Here's the deal. Remember what I told you earlier about relationships and serving people?
Mhm.
You want to know how I get what I want? By asking people what they want first. And that's how, for me, that's why I've been successful, is because when I meet with a seller, like I've got reviews from sellers that are like I've never had an experience like this before. This is the easiest thing I've ever done. And it's the hardest decision I had to make, but you made it easy. So it's listening and serving other people. And that's, I think everyone in this room could agree, like that's what God put us here for, is to help and serve other people. And that is literally,
Right.
So if you guys are listening, if you want a good book to read and you want to learn how to be successful, go read The Go-Giver.
So you do houses in, urban areas like Rochester.
Yeah, do.
Do.
Before I came here. No. Yeah, so we buy homes in the city. Yeah, all over Monroe County.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in the city. I've never moved out of the city, so I do.
He does.
I do in the city.
Now,
You
do you
do.
know maybe what percentage of houses that you've got a hand in end up owner occupied?
So we mostly sell to flippers
Okay.
and investors, because a lot of the properties that we buy, they need work. They need to be renovated.
So,
But you don't do any of that.
Dan's the handyman, right?
Yeah. So not anymore.
Right here.
So
Dan is a handyman.
So are you asking me for a job?
No,
You're not. Why would you not?
not at all. Because I like what I work for myself.
That's awesome. No, we
Wait,
flip
when
properties.
do you actually work for yourself? You always work for somebody else.
No, I don't.
Really?
I've been doing my dining room all week. No, I'm just curious
My
because
wife has been telling me the entire time.
what?
Your wife, dining room.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you're saying, Jose.
Jeez Louise.
No, I just because you see a lot of the communities in Rochester that get devastated because they're all rental properties, and then you get the people that if it's a rental, I don't care about my property.
Yep.
And then the home values go down, and then they stay down, but that's by design. Would you disagree?
And I don't know, that could be a whole nother topic tonight.
Sure.
I mean, I'd like to think, I don't know what everyone does after I sell them the homes, but I would like to think that I do business with people that I like, know, and trust.
Well, and that's not on you
Yeah.
either, and I'm not putting that on
No,
you. I'm curious because I've seen.
But hold on, but is it not? Like honestly,
I don't
but
believe
is it
so.
not?
I think he has the due diligence to do what he can do to sell it to the right people and to provide for him and his family.
But
and
is
then
it-
what happens from there? It's not.
Is it on him or no?
No, I don't believe so. But I'm saying that there is if you're, say you buy 20 properties and you
Mhm.
rent them all out and you become a landlord.
Mhm.
And now the people that are living in those houses in Rochester, so to speak,
Right.
they don't own those properties, so they just rent them. And then they take a different pride in their property because they're not owners, they're renters. And
I
that's a
agree.
different thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you guys know the housing crisis in Rochester. I mean, I'm in some other local real estate groups where these are conversations that we have.
You're having it from outside the country.
Yeah, but I grew up here, right? I mean, and the fact is that it is a problem. But how do we deal with it? Because if I came in and bought 20 houses on a city block that were dilapidated and falling apart, someone's going to say I'm coming in to gentrify the neighborhood, and then the other half of the people are going to be like, you just raised our property values, and now we've got stable housing in an area that not only needed it, but now you're creating a sense of ownership and pride of ownership in an area where you are bringing in homeowners or you are bringing in tenants who are going to take care of that property.
How do you stop gentrification? Like honestly, like
Dude,
it.
I don't. That's a tough question, man.
do you want to?
Well, first of all, no.
Yes,
guess.
No. Do
Be-
you? No, it's a genuine question.
I
I think.
think-
Well, it's a tough question because whenever you have a buildup of society in one area, it tends to increase the value of the houses around it or the property around it. So when you do that, it tends to build up everyone around you. But at the same time, people don't want to have to deal with the increase in taxes.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm saying I pay the increase in taxes as long as I see the increase in value.
Yeah.
So how do you weigh that? Like, how do you weigh that within the community? Like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and increase your rent, but it's not because I want to. It's because
It's hard, man. I think like for me personally, my thought process is education. So I bought my first home. Guess how much money I was making when I bought my first home?
6.
24,000.
Yeah, it was under $24,000.
Boom.
I was close.
6.
If I can
$6.
buy a home and I wasn't making more than $25,000 a year,
Yeah.
other people can do the same thing.
Right.
So it's education. Like you guys want to talk.
Can you educate people on that though? Like honestly, because
No, you
there's a
could've-
lot of people that will never.
You
be
could have
educated
stopped
on
at
that.
can you educate people?
But I think it starts with
Like,
individuals,
seriously.
especially with real estate. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the stigmatisms that come behind people who are in real estate is that they have like this, innate knowledge that is not available. It really is. It just starts with the effort.
It's widely available.
Yeah.
It's widely available. It's everywhere you
Yeah.
you look. It's so easy to kind of, receive and
But
get.
do you think it's widely available? Is it in front of you all the time?
No, it's not. It doesn't have to be. It's like if you want to how to anything, the information is there for you, especially with today.
YouTube
where
it.
Yeah.
You can do YouTube it.
I mean,
There's so many different, real estate individuals out there. Some of them that will lead you astray. You have to definitely be mindful who you talk, who you're following.
Yeah, we've got FHA government loans where down payments are minimal. That's how
We're not gonna talk about the FHA
FHA
3.5% down.
That's how I bought my house, my first house,
That is a scam and a
What?
half.
because of the PMI.
No, because you're not gonna live in that house.
Well, they know that.
They know that.
Who knows that?
They know that.
The government?
Yeah.
The government does not know that.
Yes, they do. Come on.
You think so?
Yeah, there's data on how long people live in homes based
All
on
right, so let's
demographics.
say someone were to be looking at a house
Yeah.
that they know they're not going to live in, but it's a double unit.
Yeah.
How would they go ahead and purchase that property while also being low income?
So you can't buy like you have to live in a property
Okay.
like that.
So let's say this person says, okay, I'll go ahead and live in this.
That's what I did. So this is how you do it. First of all, you need stable income. You need a
Mhm.
job, so you need to go to a bank. You need
Stable income for 2 years.
2 years. You need to
Not
have-
just, oh, I made 64,000 in unemployment in this past year.
Yeah, you got to be on the books. Hey, if you want to,
Yeah.
you want
I just want to make sure people understand that aspect of it.
You
Sorry.
can have a side hustle. You don't need to show that money. Just save that money.
Right.
That's your down payment. I mean, I did it. I'll tell you what I did. back then, but I say
We won't talk about it.
right?
You made the payment.
Yeah. So
You said that I can support
yep.
a loan payment of this much.
See, in a double, they'll include the other side
Mhm.
as income.
As income
I
for
think
the
it-
rental
For
income.
the rental, I think it's 80%. So
Right.
that increases up what you can pay for a home.
Love it.
And you get a freaking roommate.
Yeah, you guys don't understand. Look, we got to talk about this.
What?
And Lavelle, you need to speak up.
Well, no, I'm just enjoying the conversation. I'm just like
Because you get it. But the
Yeah.
fact is that there's a lot of people out there that don't get it.
Well, that's again, it's up to them to want to get it.
But is it up to them?
Yeah. How bad do you want it? Do you want to be? Is real estate something you want to do? Like, you may not be the one that is the deal maker, right? You may not be the one that's the closer. You may not be the one that is going out look at the houses and really assessing these properties.
Mm-hmm.
There's a job for everybody within this business. It's
So
just,
what would their job? What would their job be then?
whatever they want. You got some people that just like to geek out on data. Like, yo, I would love to have somebody just comb through a whole bunch of spreadsheets and
All right, so hold on.
So I can tell
mine
you,
data.
my business is all data. That's like the
Okay.
most valuable-
That's everything.
Good. So where do you get the information based off of the properties that you want to put an offer on? How do you find those properties?
Yeah, so you can government list like Monroe County list, so you can get code violations, you can get water shutoffs.
And this is open data to anybody.
Yeah, you can get Liz Pendens.
No matter their skin color.
No, you can go downtown to the courts and get all this information. You can get probate. There's sites that you can subscribe to that you can just pull data and zip codes.
How much?
$99 a month. You can get a month or a week for free.
Less than $100 a month.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think a lot of people don't understand what goes into the psychological side of sellers, right? Everybody is not that same. Oh, we just need to expand. We need a bigger home.
We just want to retire, so I just want to be
don't
out of
talk
this.
to those people. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the person like, I got this house, man. I'm so tired of this shit. I mean, the grass is growing up. I'm just trying to get, like, you want to talk to a motivated seller. If you're not motivated, then
what does a motivated seller mean to you?
So a motivated seller is someone who has interested in selling their home. That to me, there's
less than.
So it could
right
be
or no.
So there's time. What's the most valuable commodity we have?
Time.
So if I can give someone convenience, like, that's a win-win. And they sell me their home for less than they would listing it on the real estate market.
So how do you teach somebody that they're going to buy someone's property for less than what it's worth because you're going to offer them more time?
I think for me, that was the biggest learning curve. So again, investing in myself, I reached out to one of my coaches who's friends with probably one of the best real estate sales guys named John Martinez. And he got me a little bit of discount, but I still spent $7,000 on sales training. I had never done sales training in my life. At this point, I think I was buying like just under I was doing just under a deal a month. It was like 0.7 deals a month. And I'm like, I don't know how to sell to people. So I had to find someone who I knew was honest and I knew who was ethical and literally just told people exactly what he's doing. And essentially, if you sell people right, they sell themselves.
Right.
They want you to buy their
They'll
home.
talk themselves into selling.
Yeah. So everything that you do is like, what would you like to do? This is what you told me you want. This is what I can do. Seems like it's a win-win. Like, this is how we can move forward. Like, the ball's in your court. That's a good salesperson. It's honest. And the seller decides what happens next.
fear of loss, right?
FOMO?
Fear of loss. A
No.
lot of times when people
That's
get in
missing
that
out.
situation,
So
it's like you put,
missing
like you
out.
said, you put the ball in their court. It's like, you called me, so I didn't reach out to you. Or if I reached out to you, you told me you had a situation. I'm giving you the solution. It's up to you. Like, I got a whole bunch of other houses. Like, if we can't move on this one, we'd like to throw this in with a whole bunch. Like, there's so many different strategies and tactics you can use by getting them onto your side.
See,
but
I
it's still about solutions.
I used to hate saying that because it wasn't true.
Right.
Now that we're buying so many houses, like, I have to say that because I can't buy everyone's home. So I say I can't leave open offers. So we can buy your house today. But if Jen calls me tomorrow and is like, "Hey, Bart, I'm ready," then unfortunately I have to say no to you because we can't buy every home. And we tell people that.
So, okay. So what do you say to somebody that is trying to find the home that is no payment, no down payment, they have no money. They're just trying to get into it. They're trying to do the owner home. I'm sorry, the owner hold note. Is that something you get involved in or no?
No, but it's something. So I like to learn one thing at a time. I think people try to like. It's funny. I was watching all these Instagram stories, and so many people are like, "I have 100 streams of income, and it's amazing." I guarantee their life's miserable. I'm around a lot of successful people, and every single one of them learned how to do one thing really, really well. And then they learned how to do one thing. Right. They master one thing, then they move on to the next thing, and that's how they made millions. So for me, like I wanted to learn how to buy people's homes successfully. So for me to go for seller financing, that's like a stage 2. So maybe I spend 1 year only targeting homeowners that I think might be open to doing that type of thing. That could be like someone's in their 50s and 60s who own 100 units and they want to retire. And then I just call them and say, hey, I see you own all these properties. Have you thought about selling?
I love real estate. I love this game. I didn't even call it a game. I love this business. Thomas, go back up. What did he say about said the misconception about property valuation is that when somebody says your house is worth X, it really has a wholesale value of 6% less, since the definition of market value includes the real estate commission.
That's great. Yeah. And what people don't think of too, besides the commission. So like real estate is really slow in New York. So even people selling their homes, you have to call, you got to call an agent. They want you to fix it. They want you to do repairs. So you got to include the repairs, right? So now you've got time. You're still paying taxes, utilities, insurance for maybe 3 to 6 months. By the time you get it, you find an agent, you get the repairs done, you get the photos, you market it, you wait to get offers, and then for me it's taking about 60 days to close cash sales. So then you have all those costs associated on top of it too. So we could save sellers, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 depending on the value of the property.
Well, talk to us about the fact that you're not here anymore. Like the fact that you are here right now is a extraordinary feat, right? You're not
real
usually
estate
here.
man.
So I'll tell you,
this man is actually it's a hologram.
Yeah, I am.
He is not actually here. Brett is actually a hologram here.
So about 5 months ago, I'm dating my girlfriend for, she's gonna kill me. 8 months now. Yeah, 8 months.
Is she watching it down there?
I hope not. She'll kill me.
Worldwide. Let's go.
Oh my God.
And I've been to Guatemala 3 times prior to that. And we're not gonna get into the story of how I met my girlfriend, but it was crazy how this whole story happened. And I'm like I've never had an opportunity to leave Rochester. And
you're a young kid.
Yeah, I'm 38.
I shouldn't say young kid. I'm sorry. I
But I've spent the past 2
you're
years
a young man
working hard to figure out how to make money.
Right.
I figured it out. My payroll is $24,000 a year. If you guys wondering what I pay myself, it's $24,000 a year.
I was not wondering that, but thank you for asking.
I pulled up in a 2001. I do have a car that I race. It's awesome, but it's used. I paid $30,000 for it. Right. I've got like $5,000 left on it.
Honda S2000.
No, it's Audi.
Oh,
straight.
That was.
But
that was short there, dog.
That was a part of the movie. No one else caught that. I was the only one. Damn, never mind.
This is what we should talk about, right? If you guys want to learn how to make more money.
Honda S2000.
I don't even know what that was.
No, Fast and Furious. Nobody.
Oh, whoever. That's where you fucked up. You said Fast and Furious.
That's where I messed up.
Who watched it?
I do.
Oh, you watched it? Oh, fuck, my bad.
They're based out of El Salvador. Where you live?
Guatemala.
Same thing.
My bad.
All right, so talk to us about Guatemala.
Well, I'm all over the place. That's how my brain works. So how do I work out of Guatemala?
Yeah, talk to us about that. How do you work out of Guatemala, but also do business in New York?
Again, back to investing in myself.
Absolutely.
There was a guy in my mastermind who I really admire, and I had the opportunity. I spent 2 years like paying off all my debt. So I'll share with you guys, and we were talking about it before the show started. People are always trying to learn how to make more money, but that's not how you build wealth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just learning how to live below your means. Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to do that first before you can build wealth.
How to increase your cash flow.
Yeah, how to increase. So you don't need to go out and spend a lot of time trying to make more money, because that could that could fail. So instead of trying to figure out how to go out and make more money, I freed up $1,500 a month by
How?
just paying off debt.
How did you do that?
Well,
$1,500 a month.
yeah.
How?
Yeah. So I sold some properties. I paid some loans off, paid my student loans off. I paid credit cards off. But it was hard. I went broke twice. You start trying to get my wholesaling business started.
When you say broke, what does that mean?
There was just no money.
There was no cash flows
Yeah. There was no
to
money.
make up for the payment.
Yeah. But I was hammering my debt down and I had some reserves. So like, you know, but that's the thing. When you have little debt and you don't need a lot of money to live off a month, you can take those risks.
Right.
Would you say it was pretty much you believing in your dream is what made you fight through those? Because
is that the broke days?
The broke days, because the broke days will stop a motherfucker from even going further. Like, yo, this shit is bullshit. This don't work.
And a woman will speak up and say, look, you got to take care of us. You can't go to another country and say, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just
she's my
provide.
She's my sugar mom. I mean, that's what
she's a sugar mom.
We joke. She's smart. She's got her master's in finance.
She gets it though.
Yeah, she does.
Understands it.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So I just learned how to live off of little money, and I started finally making some money. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the first time money has ever stayed in my bank account. This is really cool. And then I just kept sawing that go up and up and up. And then I'm like, wow, the timing is perfect. And I just decided to, and again, this wouldn't be possible without my coach and other people believing in me that I can do it. Cause they'll tell you, so 3 years of coaching was never business for me. It was all personal development and working through my demons.
That's what's up.
Well, a lot of people want to think that they can do it on their own. Like I'm an independent man. I'm an independent woman.
They never survive.
I wouldn't say never, but it's very hard.
Lonely.
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of selfish dudes like really start off at the top, like be like the big time buyers around the block,
ballers,
and then just get consumed with their own, narcissism and don't realize how they got there. Like it does take a team effort. It's never about the individual, and people gotta really you have to be a good person still to kind of be successful in this business, because you got to know how to work with other people. You got to know your limitations. You got to know your strengths.
Well, do you have to work with other people?
It's lonely, man. Real estate is hard. It's hard, and it does get lonely. I think one of the coolest things that I've been able to experience now is building a team, and I love helping people. So now I have, when I interview people, I ask them what they want their lives to look like, and that's how I determine if they're a good fit for my business. Because if I can help you do that, do you want to be part of what I got going on?
So what is it that you have a future for in your business? What is it that you're looking for?
What do I want a future to look like?
Yeah.
Man, I like what
I was about to say yachts and bitches, but he's got a girlfriend.
Well, he gets to pick it, right? So you get to pick it. So what is it that?
But he brought sand to the beach down there.
And no BS. Like honestly, what is it that you expect out of life in the next 10 years? Honestly, in 10 years. What do you expect yourself to be? Because you already moved outside of the United States.
I want to be happy.
Are you not already happy? Moved outside of the United States?
I am happy. So
happy's a byproduct.
Right.
I want time. And
time for what?
What I realize is you don't need a lot of money to have your time.
You don't. Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive. This is
I'm with him on it.
This is what.
Are you? Because it takes 100%. A lot of money to run this for an hour right here.
We were talking about that the other day, Dan, weren't we?
Yeah, that's why I do what I do right now.
What is it that you actually do? Right?
Handy Dan.
Handy Dan.
Oh,
I thought you were just Dan from the streets.
I set my own schedule though.
Oh, I thought you were just walking around and being nonchalant about things.
Well, yeah, I am, but.
There's a lot of shit. Cut up floors. There's a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, we took a whole chunk out of the floor. But it was on my time, and I chose your time.
Yeah.
Hey, you chose to mess with
so you should have saw this dude, man. This dude, he comes over.
Who's this dude?
Dan.
Talking about Dan from the streets.
So he comes over and
let's talk about Dan from the streets. Hold on.
I want to talk about Brett.
I'm doing work to the house, and Dan's the first time he's there where he can just inspect everything. I swear.
Okay,
to God,
so it's first time in there.
I've never seen anybody with a small flashlight go through a house through every. I'm gonna bring you to other houses. Like if there's a house I need to look at,
So
this guy is in every corner crevice of finding shit that I know. Like, what the heck is that? Oh, this is valuable. This is. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So
He was telling me about pennies he found in a.
That's
Is
yeah, yo. I'm
is
telling
that
you.
something that you look for in a man that is? I'm sorry, in a person.
No, you can say man.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. In a person that is looking at the houses that you want to invest in. Is that something you're looking for?
What?
Nitpicker, like Dan.
You trying to sell?
Bro,
me?
if you invite me to your house, you're gonna watch my eyes like going
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, you're looking for
It's a-
stuff.
it's a
You're
habit.
looking for anything to bring that value down.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a habit. You go into a house, you're just gonna break it down and be like, yeah, this house is only worth X amount in your mind. You already know the area. You already know what you would offer a motherfucker. It's just what you do. It's part of the, I don't know, the game.
The game.
You know?
But more than money, time. Time's the best
Yes.
resource and the most valuable resource. I don't care what anyone says. You could have $10 million. If you don't have a minute to spare, you're worthless.
It's worthless. I agree.
Oh, dang.
Dropping dimes.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
now you're
I'm
in a
not.
minute
I'm not
spare.
dropping them. I'm picking those dimes up because then I
Are you picking them up?
You're right about that.
So you asked me what the key to happiness was, or asked me what I want my future to look like.
Right.
I want my future to be a future where I'm still giving and serving other people. And you can.
What does
still-
that mean, though?
It's hard because for me, like I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing,
Mhm.
but I can tell you I'll still be making good money. But whatever I'm doing, it could be maybe I start working with one of the schools in Guatemala. That's how I started traveling there. Maybe I jump on the board, and maybe
I was
we
gonna say,
start-
are you gonna be a what do we call them? Christian
missionary.
missionary?
Yeah,
you gonna be a
so
missionary.
I did a couple mission trips there. That's how I started going to Guatemala.
Okay.
But so I love kids, right? I didn't have a dad. My childhood was pretty.
So when are you gonna
pretty
give
rough.
up on making money?
See, here's the thing: when you start giving, so I heard this
Yo.
story. So
Give up on making money.
you never need to give up on making money because here's the thing: the more you give, this is the key to wealth. This is what I've learned from people who make a
Go
lot
ahead.
of money.
Tell them.
You
already know.
can't. You can't give more than the giver, who is God, right? So there was this guy, and this is a true story. Like he's a millionaire, but he would just give people money all the time, and he's like, but God kept giving him more.
Yeah, Austin.
He said, what?
Well, you don't have to
Austin.
give money. You could give people your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most bodacious thing you could ever give somebody is
Yeah.
the time to show them that, look, I understand. I got you. I get you.
Yeah.
I'm like Austin over there.
Well, I do think though it is good to have, you know, our guest on today to kind of get into the insides of the real estate business, because everybody literally thinks it's just, all right, if I need to sell a house, the only place I can go is to a realtor.
Yeah.
That's the first, like, that's the only place I can go. And some people believe that's the only way you could sell a house. I wouldn't consider it an argument. It's just like,
You're about to get a whole bunch of people angry at you.
well, they always
We're
get
in the
mad
real
at me.
estate office
They just
right
get
now.
mad at me all the
there's a
time.
whole
But-
real estate office or 3 that's about to get angry at
But
you.
when you could tell when someone just is ignorant to certain things, but when they're just trying to tell you that you can't, my whole argument was that anybody can sell a house. Like, it doesn't matter, and you can sell a house for someone else. Again, you're just wholesaling it, but you can still market for that person and still, you know, work out an agreement. You don't have to be, you know, that licensed agent. You just have to have the knowledge to, it's just finding a buyer. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it doesn't matter how it happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the thing is, there are a lot of people who do what I do, who do it for the reason of helping people. This
Mhm.
year, I'll share with you guys a story. We got a hold of a lady. She's like, the bank's got my property. And I'm like, no, they don't. She's like, yeah, they do. And I'm like, no, they don't. I mean, that's not how the conversation went, but in my head, that's how it went.
Right.
And she'd moved out 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And I'm like, look, if I can verify that you still own your home and I can help stop this foreclosure, are you on board with me? And she's like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. I'll call you back tomorrow. Call one of my real estate brokers who does all my foreclosures. He's like, hey, I was like, Warner, can you figure out what's
Warner
going on?
Fisher?
You Warner Fisher,
Yeah.
he's my boy. And he's like, Brett, bank doesn't own this property. I call her back and like, look, bank doesn't own this property. This is gonna be some work. You're gonna have to put in some legwork. We're gonna need all these things from you. And we went and met at Panera, and I brought Warner. We walked her through the whole process, and we just bought her house, and we
Nice.
stopped that home from going into foreclosure, which would have destroyed her credit and her ability to borrow money. And like those are a lot of the people that we come across. And if it wasn't for people like myself who do wholesale properties, these people would be losing their homes.
Shout out to Warner. Warner's been in the game for
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
I met Warner the first time, like in when the housing crisis hit. He was busy back then, busy as hell. Shout out to Warner. He's good dude. Good dude.
He works hard on these bank files.
Yeah.
He calls them every day. It's a grind with these banks. And what's even worse is you want to talk about these government loans.
Mm-hmm.
Most banks,
they're not gonna be there for
what's happening is
time.
They have not been properly filing paperwork.
Yeah.
And the reason why people pay PMI is if they go into foreclosure, it's like insurance for your car. They can do a short sale and that'll stop the foreclosure process. So you can sell your home short of what the balance is on your loan. And some banks have not been doing their paperwork. And I've got one for almost a year. This lady has gone through 3 bouts of chemo. This home is falling apart. They spent the rest of their money to buy another property. Now they got this home. They're like, Brett, we just want it gone. And I'm like, and we're almost there, but it's over. I got you, bro. Over a year.
I got you.
Oh. And
Lavelle's got you.
Lavelle's got you.
No, listen, man. I am enjoying the conversation because everything you're saying is true. The banks are the most dirtiest, nastiest.
Whoa, hold on.
Entities. I would say they know it because
they are not.
Yes, they are.
How were they? How?
Well, first of all, you go back to the housing crisis and how they mismanaged.
Is that their fault?
Yes, it is. 100%.
How is it their fault that people don't understand what they're getting involved
predatory lending?
There you go.
Is
you
it?
can even go there.
Do you think it is predatory lending?
Oh yeah.
That they didn't know what the hell they were signing on to.
They knew.
It's still a fine line because people will put blinders on. Yep. Because they want what they want.
Listen, don't defend them. All right, you're supposed to be on my side.
I'm saying the reason why I call banks dirty nasties because even when you go through like a short sale or foreclosure situation, banks are first of all you're talking to a lot of people who are getting paid like $15, $16 an hour, so their involvement within the process sometimes is like it's really not exist. There's no skin in the game for them. They're not looking at the bigger picture. So a lot of houses that are really in jacked up situation, you the buyer or wholesaler, you gotta show story sell everything. So you gotta show them like, yo, this house is a freaking hole in the roof. Like, nope, we want 120,000.
That's a skylight.
No, it's like this house is worth 30. What is wrong with you? Nope, that's what we want. Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Fargo is a loose.
Well, they're all going to think that it's worth more than what it is. So how do you,
of course,
how do you talk to somebody and trying to get them to understand that it's not worth that much?
So short sales are easy for me, at least working with the sellers, because the banks come out and determine the value of the property. So I my goal is to educate. So I educate sellers on all their options. If you have equity, you can sell it to me. We can pay off a loan. You can list it with a real estate agent. You can do this. And if you don't have enough equity, we have to do is call a short sale. And then I'll literally walk them through every step and just ask them what they want to do. And most people wait until the last minute. So their only option is to do that short sale.
Right.
And then we lock them up under contract and we send the paperwork over to the bank. But the process is so horrible. Sometimes these situations are so bad and we have to go back to the sellers and ask them for the same information 4, 5, 6 times and get it back to the bank. And they've already had it. So it can be hard.
Nasty banks. That's all I'm saying. Yo, so seriously, they back to the housing crisis. They tried to vilify all of the investors.
Is there a housing crisis right now? Are we in the middle of one right now?
I think it just depends on how you define housing crisis.
Yeah,
because I think there is for people who need affordable housing.
Okay, so there's not going to be much available for those who want affordable housing when everyone and their mama is saying this is affordable housing, and then they just kind of take it away. It's like $1,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment.
I don't get. I don't get. I mean, I haven't looked at other markets, but I don't get housing in Rochester. I don't get it because all these, I don't understand. Who can afford $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment?
Lavelle Lewis, he's a baller. He's a baller.
I cannot. But what I can afford,
he brings the ladies back after every podcast.
What I can afford is my little punk ass mortgage. What I don't like though, on the other side, is the high ass taxes that
It's punk ass mortgage.
keep trickling up. I do think if you want to solve the housing crisis, I think the government has to look at themselves in the mirror. How are you helping and assisting I would say the landlords that you can work with? A slumlord.
No.
Did you learn this from somebody?
We're vilified more. The
Yeah.
people who do work to their houses are vilified and targeted more than slumlords.
Slumlords. Yeah.
Slumlords can be slumlords because people need to live in those homes. It's the only affordable housing, so they have to deal with the slumlords. Unfortunately, that's what I've seen. That's what other people are saying. So I don't know how you manage the gap to get people in a place that's affordable. I don't know. It boggles my mind. Like all these big buildings keep going up that are so expensive, and like we can't create affordable housing for people.
It's tough. It's tough.
Is it tough though?
No, it is, because again, you have that government element that kind of gets in the way.
Right.
And again, it kind of goes back to like what I was saying before, like back in the housing crisis, the big banks were vilifying the investors and making it very hard for us to acquire these properties, because at the end of the day, we could pick them up for pennies on a dollar. They knew that. So you have so many banks, like even today, are holding on to a whole bunch of non-performing mortgages. So
non-performing assets,
non-performing assets or whatever. But still,
does a normal everyday citizen understand what that even means?
No, and that's a problem. But still, at the same time, it's not like that information is not there. You know?
Okay. So let's figure that there's people listening right now. What does that mean to them?
Well, it means that, first of all, if you show an interest to kind of, get more information or knowledge about the real estate business, start with your mortgage. Really try and understand what your mortgage is and what it is, and how your bank could in a day or so sell your mortgage to someone else.
Right. To anybody.
So a lot of people find that out their first time, like, oh shit, wait, M&T now has our mortgage now? What the hell is that? So by understanding how the mortgage itself is even created, the note itself, once you realize that note and how it's moved around, you'll soon find out that banks will sell your notes for pennies on the dollar. They'll sell your note less than what it is that you even bought it for, because again, their only interest is to please their investors. That's it. But if the bank needs cash flow, they're going to get that cash. Now, you as the mortgage or note holder, that's why when you go into any mortgage, you want the best possible mortgage you can ever negotiate and get.
Long-term mortgage.
Long-term, exactly. So by you understanding that, even though this bank is like, oh yeah, we're going to give you everything, that they really don't give a flying,
Why does it sound like that though?
Venuta.
But the banks don't really care about you and
of course not. Why would they?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But by
you got someone else from another country that's willing to put in money to buy the same property.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My point though is, when you understand the game and how everybody really is out for something.
Okay, fine. Talk to people about the game then.
Well, again,
what is it that they need to understand about the game that we're talking about today?
I think we're talking about real estate today, but the thing is, like, not everyone's an entrepreneur. Not everyone wants to be a homeowner. So why we try to force that on people like it's something that everyone wants to do?
But I feel like most people actually want to own their own homes.
Yeah, they don't want to own their own homes, but do they want they don't want what comes with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it the idea of owning a home because that's what they've been sold? Like college, like we go to college, we've been sold it's the thing to do, and like after it, we're supposed to feel great, right? And we're left with student debt. But the problem is, a lot of people, the people's homes that we buy, they buy that home with a dream and don't realize that their taxes weren't escrowed in their mortgage. They don't realize how much insurance can be and the cost of maintenance on a home in the city. That's the thing. Like a lot of these homes in the city, like you renovate something in the 1920, like they require maintenance. I'd rather spend a premium on something built in 1950 than pay something cheap that's built in 1920 just because the amount of extra work. You know what I'm talking about. The work.
I was thinking about your house.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just by knowing that alone, you have to understand what it is that you're buying. Stop getting caught up in the emotion, and you're buying these houses that you should negotiate them down.
Good. Let's talk about that. So how do you alleviate emotions and only take it upon yourself to understand
Bro,
this makes sense,
It's not
so I'm going
possible.
to
It's not
invest in
possible.
it.
It's not
It's not
possible.
possible.
No.
How is that not possible?
Because people make decisions based off of emotions.
Yep.
Not
Yep.
well, most people. Just say everyone.
Yeah, not me. I got no emotions.
No, that's
none.
It's hard, but that's why you have a group of peers.
Mhm.
That's why I pay for a mastermind to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and like they're like, Brett, what's wrong with you?
Yep.
Like, look, come on, let's talk about it. Let's walk you through it. You need accountability, but people want what they want, and that's just another problem with our culture, and they don't think of the consequences.
Well, they want what they want immediately.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different categories of potential sellers that for me, you know, I look for, you know, for somebody say they're in, you know, like just got a divorce, or, you know what I mean? They got to relocate, or they just inherited a house that they don't want.
Yeah.
You know, all these different, you know, factors is what you want to listen to as far as any buyer. I don't care who it is. Why are you selling? Some people are afraid to even ask that question. You know, why are you selling? You know what I mean? That right there can give you so much information. I don't care if you're looking for that dream home. You know what I mean? That house can have everything looks nice, but I'm giving this information for the people who want to buy a house, the people who are caught up in the emotion. Still ask these questions and don't just go by what your agent is telling you, because an agent, you will find a car salesman quick, you know,
An agent.
you know, there are some real estate agents that will sell to that.
No, I love real estate agents. They sell our houses, but I'll tell you what, I just bought this house for $50,000. Guess what the real estate agent thought that she could sell the home for in that same condition?
80.
115,000.
115,000.
So sometimes I can figure out if a seller
Oh
is very logical and they know numbers. So I was like, look, just tell your agent this.
Yeah.
He told the agent what I told her to tell her, and the agent agreed with me.
Yeah.
So she's just trying to get it under contract, and she knew that there's no way she would have got that money.
Ask questions, people. Just ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask questions, and just don't be quick to take it in the rear.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Whoa.
Listen, I thought this was a podcast, all right? Like,
jeez,
I can say stuff like that.
Jump to the middle.
Past the 9 o'clock hour, we should say stuff like
all
this.
right, let's check out the questions here.
Well, I think Thomas
Lord.
was on point with a lot of stuff he was saying. You know,
can't see.
Oh yeah, this building was bought as a short sale. Yo, there's many.
That's awesome.
Yo, there's so many situations out there.
Who is this Tom Morgan character?
I don't know, but I like him.
Yeah.
Tom Cash is king.
He
Ask
is a
yourself the
character.
value
You know
any
what?
person brings to
He
any
deserves
relationship
his
in
own.
business.
He deserves his own.
I'm with you, Tom. I'm with you, Tom. I do think in time people will get more smarter and savvy with real estate. I do hope though that the more VRBOs and Airbnbs are accepted more so with, you know, landlords who own property that allow these people to sublease as well.
Yeah. I mean, for anyone listening who wants to get involved in real estate, like you don't need to know anything. You just need to know someone who does.
There you go.
That's a
isn't
fact.
it life though? Is that not life? Like you just need to learn
But it's that easy.
how to find somebody that actually understands what you're going through.
But most people aren't vulnerable enough to just take in information and listen and like let their pride go and just do what someone tells you to do.
Understandable.
Fear, fright. They get anxiety.
False expectations
says the one
appearing
wearing
real.
the mask.
Well, I obviously you see it didn't last, right? So
Oh yeah,
this
it's about a half an hour.
experiment, like I can only imagine what every kid is going through in school.
yeah, we're not going there.
Mr.
We're not going there.
Bello.
After you just wore one.
No, I wore it just to see what would happen, and I literally was like gagging on my own breath.
Did you see him gagging?
Gagging.
Bellow.
I saw him gagging on Adam Bello.
No, you did not see
Yes,
that.
I did. 100%. Well, I appreciate you coming all the way from South America to come up.
Yes.
Just to see you guys.
Yeah,
just to come on the show.
Matter of fact, I got to get your info, man. So
yeah, I'd love to connect.
Where is it that you live now? Tell the people.
So it's Antigua.
Look at that.
Guatemala. and the weather.
Antigua.
The weather's beautiful.
This
and
mother trucker lives in Antigua.
we find
He doesn't
dine
even
every
live
weekend.
here.
Mm.
So you have people looking for houses that you want to invest in.
So
You don't even live here.
yeah.
All the people bring back the info to you. Your smart ass is out in a whole nother country.
Do you know how I did that? I just helped someone quit her job.
Talk to us about that.
Yes.
She just quit her job last
Talk
Friday.
to us about that.
Again, serving.
Because I would love,
Mhm.
love for more people.
Dude, this is what kills me. So many people want to say, I want to learn how to buy houses. So
Uh-huh.
I kept posting, I need help. I need help with
Right.
this. I had this girl reach out to me. She said, bro, I don't know if I can help you with this, but I want to help.
But I want to try
Yeah.
at least.
And
Good for her.
She just quit her job last week.
Good for her.
She's making $75,000 a year, and she's probably
Boom.
going to make and so she's been with me maybe part-time 3.5 months, maybe 4 months, and she's probably making around $20,000 already.
Boom.
In that amount of time.
Yo,
It
y'all
didn't take her
sleeping.
long.
Y'all
Yeah.
Take her long.
sleeping.
No one responded. I couldn't believe it.
These people are
Mhm.
sleeping in Rochester. They don't even know what is actually available to them.
It's not
The
even
amount of
Rochester.
money that is actually available to go out and make, as long as you just wake the F up and just
Put
Why?
forth effort, man.
Why?
Do
All
something.
she did, she just worked. She's like, Brett, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it.
right.
Whatever
Oh
I
my
threw at her,
God.
she did it. And
Oh my
she's got
God.
two contracts that we worked on together.
That's amazing.
And she's making like $5,000 on one, like $6,000 on another, and then there's a couple other ones that
Boom.
are smaller than that.
I
Boom.
got plenty money, plenty money.
So we're happy.
Wow.
You know what? Like when you here's you know what's
What was
crazy? When you start to empower yourself in real estate, you don't worry about a lot of stuff because you always know that every day you wake up, there is a deal potentially waiting.
Hustling.
Every single day. Like when I get up, I swear to God, I'm like, I really believe that I'm going to make $1 million, get $1 million deal every single day.
Good question. How do you wake up every morning? What is it that you say to yourself
Well,
every
I
single
open my
morning?
eyes and I say,
Dude, well,
I say,
I think
devil, wake the F up. 'cause
I
you're
don't,
about to
I
be
don't have,
rocked.
I don't have any like motto or anything to tell
Uh-huh.
myself. I pray, I do devotions, I journal. I think
Okay.
the biggest thing for me is the more money I make, my life just doesn't change.
Mm.
Do you want to know how I can afford to move to another country? Airbnb being my house, and I have a little debt, and I did a loan to someone to flip a house.
So
like,
turn a liability into an asset.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
I
my
love
lifestyle hasn't changed. I wake
Weird.
up happy because
Weird.
She seems so shocked, Jose.
I'm not shocked. The thing
Oh.
is, people don't understand how easy it is. They make it out to be like, in order for you to be a shining star amongst people of color, you have to be like the golden child. You have to do
Mhm.
something extraordinary for you to stand out amongst people of color. And I'm sitting there saying, you just got to do the basic shit.
Yo, sometimes it's
You just got to do the basic
you know,
just show up.
Yeah.
thing.
show
as
up.
well, right?
It's
You got to
show
show
up.
up and
Show
do your
up.
damn job.
Just fucking show up, man.
Simple as that.
One house, if you don't buy off of emotion, can change your life.
Yes,
My
sir.
first house that I bought, like what I mean, I don't know who listens to your show, but yeah, I'm Caucasian, right? I don't know if you think I have white privilege.
No
but,
Caucasians.
you know,
Not
no
a single
Caucasians on the
one.
show. But I grew up in
Only people of color.
a broken home. My father died. My mother got beat. You know, I didn't
Oh,
have.
jeez.
That
No
was a
joking
bad
anymore.
bad divorce, but I never gave up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my first house I bought. I made $24,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I made $300 a month living there because I had a roommate. I made $90,000 selling it.
Look at Tom out there marketing, baby. Let's do it.
Look at Just Tom. Look at Just Tom.
Tom out there marketing,
dang.
baby.
He said, if you want to be a real estate salesperson in a traditional
I like it.
Mhm.
manner, you
They
can
get
contact
money
us
over
at
here, Revere Realty, all right?
Revere Realty does nothing but money.
Money. That's
Money.
what we do around here. Word.
Austin don't know about that. Look at him.
We got racks on racks
Give
on
us a
racks.
thumb.
Racks on racks on racks, man. Nah, I appreciate the
Why-
having a guest that is from the streets,
That's me.
from the streets of real estate, on the from the grind, from the bottom.
Where are you actually from?
Congratulations to
From
him.
Rochester. So I
Boom,
grew up,
look at that.
I grew up off Emerson Street.
Ooh, in the trap. Of all
Can you
places.
grow up in Rochester,
Woo!
living off of Emerson, living in the Northwest, and living in a whole nother country and still make money in Rochester?
Clearly.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Man.
Virtual real estate. It was actually
I think-
starting to come out more in like 09 is when more and more
can we
people
talk
start
about
getting
virtual real estate?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
COVID did help that.
Yeah, it sure enough
COVID.
did.
Virtual real estate is crazy.
It made it
It's the absolute
easy.
craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's well. I mean, with Craigslist, that's what started it. Craigslist
No,
really
Craigslist started Backpage.
no Craigslist.
Is there a Backpage for
Backpage? When Backpage came out, it flopped. But Craigslist, I'm not even gonna lie. The house that I own right now, I found it just waking up like at 11 o'clock, and like, let me see what's on Craigslist. Right, just let me see what's on Craigslist. And then as soon as I seen it, I saw, the owner completely undercut his price. But I was the first one to send that email to him, and I was the first person he spoke to, and I was the only person he sold to.
You never know.
You never
never
freaking
know.
It
Just
still
put in the
works.
offer.
Yeah.
It still works.
Put in the offer.
If you guys are looking to buy houses, you can go on Craigslist, Zillow, for sale by owners. But Craigslist, any rental property, hey, consider selling.
Brett will finance it.
No.
100%. 100% financing.
Yeah.
I don't do any financing.
He says he will give you 100% financing.
Yeah, see,
That's it.
see. Go ahead.
Hold on. Do you do any financing?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. At what point do you finance?
What do
Like
you mean?
when do you finance? If someone says, I have an Airbnb and I'm about to put $100,000 into this property.
I won't do an Airbnb, so I'll finance people that I know that are flipping houses. So like some of my friends.
Mhm.
So I'll finance the purchase, like the only the purchase price right now, and they have to finance the rehab.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Boom. So if you need money,
Holla at your
Brett-
boys.
Brett,
It's out right now.
You
so
can
I
make
got
that
it.
other
Boys.
ways on Craigslist.
well, yeah, or you can come see me. Either or.
Oh, that's right, Jose. We getting that.
I
bag,
charge
too.
more than Brett would.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Get that money.
So when are we gonna go down to South America and
I already
visit
told.
Brett
Listen,
at
as
home?
soon as I get the info, I'm down.
Yeah,
there.
we're going down there, bro. I'm
Send
telling you.
March. Come down to March.
I'm there.
Is that when
Over
it's
there.
hot and popping?
Well, I have friends coming in February. But
He don't- he don't want you there, then.
Yeah, he don't want it. He don't
No,
want about
you
that.
could you could stay in my servant quarters.
Oh shit!
You can't say that in America. You're in
Servant
America.
quarters? Oh shit!
No, but it's funny. There's
Be
no
careful.
servant
Be
quarters
careful.
in this house. It's kind of cool.
Jose might get offended by servant quarters. Fuck you, be servant quarters.
Hey, but you have your own bathroom.
Oh,
right?
see, it is a lavish
It's an-
service.
It's a
quarter.
hole in the ground with an outhouse on top.
It is.
Of
That's what I
Yeah.
grew up with.
Just
That's what I
make
grew
sure
up
you
with,
get
the hole in the
outside
ground.
and tend to those fields when you get done. Jose.
While I appreciate the hole in the ground.
Oh my god.
You're
Anyways, I thank you very much for coming on and talking about how people can actually look at real estate in a different way so that they can potentially make money. Because I feel like people are sitting on the real estate in Rochester when we are literally giving it away to those who are outside of our country.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
just selling it for crumbs
Yeah.
to people outside of our country. We're sitting here like, you can still make money on this. You can still make something on this. You just got to position it correctly and buy it at the right price point.
I don't have any sympathy for anybody that is motivated and needs to get out of a situation. Like, not even something I need to sympathize or
Well,
empathize with them on.
You've been in that situation,
What do you mean?
in a position where people would rather look to someone who doesn't have baggage. And those who have baggage, when they come to the door and say, I want to live in this apartment, because I've been that person.
Well, you can't move into a place without baggage. You typically have some stuff. With
You have to bring some shit, right?
Bro, it's getting late.
I was waiting for one of them Dan jokes. We at least get one a show. That's another
There
one.
it is. That was it right there.
I'm a dad, my son.
Oh, that's right. You are.
Double
You're
dad.
double dad.
Yeah.
Whew. Good luck to you when they get them cell phones.
Wait till they get
See, that's the key to
high
building
school.
wealth. To just don't have kids.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it turns out-
Boom.
that is.
boom. You didn't learn that.
That
No,
is
that was the first thing I asked him, or one of the first things.
That is
He
a
obviously
fact.
doesn't have kids because he's moving to Central America.
It's tough.
He also looks like he's younger than me, and he's almost a decade older.
He is definitely a decade younger than you.
Yeah, it is. Well, 8 years.
Older.
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
I love it. I'm gonna go down and visit you. FYI.
I'd love to have you come. That's
yeah,
why
I'm not asking you.
I'm
Just
going
come,
down.
bro. Just
I want.
I'll text you my address and just show up one day.
Sweet.
Show up.
Look at that. I don't want monkeys though. I don't want no monkeys on my front porch.
There's no
Monkeys.
monkeys, man. We have these.
I hear down in South America shores, they be like having
It's not
monkeys
South
all over the damn
America.
place.
No, we have
Central.
central. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have like
it's
these
same thing.
These weird
It's
birds.
Mexico light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
It's
You
like-
know,
Yeah, it's like a Corona, but not really.
it's like Corona, but COVID.
Oh my god.
The embarrassment. Look, I've never seen Dan embarrassed before. He was like, "What the hell?"
All right, let's say goodbye to
Hit that
our
fucking music.
people out here. Let's go through the comments. Let's make sure we go through and give people their.
Well, it's Tom.
respects.
Tom won the day.
He's killing it.
Damn,
yeah.
Tom. That's what I'm
Tom
talking
won
about.
the day, yo.
Hummer
Everybody else is
Lavelle,
afraid.
if he wants to be a real estate person, you guys are sitting in a building that was bought as a short sale. Mother truckers, seller just wanted to get out even. Look at that.
Mhm.
You never know what
Never know. Just ask the fucking question.
what it is that they want out of it.
So
Sometimes they just want done and over with.
Probably
I want
money.
to give these guys a quick tip before we get off because this is something that I learned. Again, it goes about serving people. So whoever the seller was who wanted out of this building,
Mhm.
like there's a lot of people from other countries. There's a lot of fake people who want to buy homes who can't really buy homes, and that's cool if you know someone who's going to buy a home. But when you're talking to someone who wants to buy a home, be their friend. Be their friend because that
Actual
person-
friend.
Yeah, serve them. Pretend like they're your family, and try to find ways to help them because they might talk to 5 other people, but they're going to remember you, and when they're ready, they're going to call you back.
Yep. I had a couple houses come back to me that way.
Yep.
Like months down the line and be like, "You guys still interested in buying a house?" Like, of course. We're
Yeah.
always interested. It's the game.
That's how they approach you.
Yeah.
Bruh, if I hear you say it's the game one more
It's
time,
the game, man. It's the game.
It's the game.
But it's not in a bad way.
I think you should lead us out, Lavelle, because
go.
Jose's busy.
Oh,
Bruh, texting.
Well, I'm waiting for him to say, throw shots
Austin.
at what's his name? Don Lemozano, whatever his name is.
John Linguizamo.
John Linguizamo.
Can I just say,
first of all, you didn't even say it appropriately.
Well, you done dissed him the last 7 shows. So.
Leguizamo.
Legazamo.
No,
That's
it's
not how you say it.
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo?
In case you're in South America next time and you
Oh,
come
there you go.
across
John
John Leguizamo or Kanye
John-
or
West,
Kanye West.
let
Okay.
them know.
It's just yay.
Jose.
Yeah.
No. Let
Still-
Kanye
it's
know
still
that
Kanye.
I am looking for him
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
personally.
I don't know if he'll talk to me, but I'll try.
Well, you never know. Be like, hey,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
No,
if
it's
I'll be able to-
yay. Like I do.
if I'll be able to get
Yay.
close enough.
Yeah.
yay!
Yeah.
That's it.
Yay.
It's like I do.
Yay. I'll throw a little rock at him.
Don't do that. Don't
Jose
little
said, "What's
throw a
up?"
little rock at him. Good lord.
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
Austin, play that funky music.
Ah,